Hey guys, welcome back. If you're thinking about starting a garden this season but think you're too late, you're not. Here in Zone 5, we still have over 120 days before our first frost, and that means there's still plenty of time to grow lots of food. So today I'm sharing 10 seeds that you should be starting this month to keep your garden thriving throughout the season. And make sure you stay until the end because crop number 10 is a special seed that I guarantee you haven't seen on any June planting list. But before we get started, if you're new here, hi guys, my name is Marsha the Black Thumb Gardener and I live in Ontario, Canada, Zone 5B, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe, and if you're returning, welcome back, and thank you so much for supporting my channel. Now let's get started. Kickstarting off with number 1, we have cucumbers. Now I already have my first crop of cucumbers established in the garden, but if your beds are empty, it's not too late. So June is the ideal month to direct sow cucumbers because the warm soil makes them germinate like crazy. Now I know we have a lot of gardeners that are still dealing with colder temperatures, so you want to make sure the soil temperatures are at least 15 degrees Celsius before you start direct sowing your cucumbers. Now this one is very quick to harvest. It's about 60 days to maturity, so there's still time to even do a succession sowing of cucumbers later in the season. If you're like me and still waiting on your spring garden, don't worry. You can interplant your cucumbers with crops like peas in order to get your summer plants in until your spring harvest is ready. So while we're here, let's talk about another crop that you can interplant with peas, and that's number 2 on our list, which is beans. Beans are the ultimate warm season crop. They're quick to harvest with under 60 days to maturity. So today I'm going to be planting this pack of Goliath bush beans in a row right in front of my sugar snap peas. Now we just had a massive spring harvest, and this is the perfect time to tuck in crops like beans into areas that you've just harvested from. So we need to add some beans to the green stalk right behind me, and if you're a small space gardener like I am, then growing vertically is a must. The green stalk has been a game changer for me, and we have some Napa cabbages at the top that we need to harvest first, so let's do that and then plant our green beans. I'm going to give you a closer look at this green stalk. These are the Napa cabbages that we need to harvest. The rest of this green stalk is filled with a ton of herbs for my tea garden, but I want to tuck in a bunch of my summer crops here as well. This is Wawasai Napa cabbages. These are mini Napa cabbages. They look so cute. This is our harvest. Look, this is so perfect. Oh my gosh. The spring harvest has been given, guys. Look at this. Okay, now we can plant our beans, and I'm going in with the Goliath bush beans again. I'm gonna go in with 2 beans per cell. Number 3 is squash, but this one you definitely want to be careful with. I would check the days to maturity before you start planting. Now you can do summer squash like zucchini, which is what we're going to be planting today, or you can do winter squash like butternut squash, spaghetti squash, even acorn squash. So a lot of my squash plants that have a long days to maturity have already been started indoors from seed and transplanted into the garden. But there are compact varieties that allow you to get a harvest within a short amount of time. Now you can try varieties like this acorn squash. This takes about 75 days. And I also have this compact winter squash. It has 2 varieties, delicata and early butternut squash. Today we're going to be planting this Black Beauty zucchini. For number 4, we're talking about corn. Now, some people think you have to get your corn started in May, but I think June is a sweet spot to get started. The soil is warm and it's ideal conditions for fast germination. So my strategy this year is to plant all of my corn here in this brassica patch once it's been harvested. And the reason why I'm planting in this area is because I have all of my nightshade plants over in the other area, like tomatoes. And you definitely want to keep your corn away from your tomatoes because they deal with the same pest, which is the corn earworm. If you choose a quick to mature variety that's about 70 to 75 days, you'll be harvesting ears by the end of August. Number 5, root crops. Getting another round of carrots and beets into the garden is ideal before the heat sets in. Now I'm going to be planting a row of Yaya carrots from West Coast Seeds along the side of my raised bed where I have my determinate tomatoes. Keeping your carrots well watered is the key to germination. You definitely don't want to have that top layer dry out. Since we're in this bed, we're going to do seed number 6, which is basil. My family loves basil, especially when it comes to eating pesto, so we need a ton of it in the garden. Now, I already have some transplants in the garden, but June is the perfect time to add a succession sowing of basil so that we have a continuous harvest throughout the season. We've talked a lot about vegetables that you should start in June, but we need to talk about flowers. So number 7 on the list are zinnias. Zinnias are one of the easiest flowers to grow, and I've already transplanted my zinnias. I've started from seed in my garden already, but June is a great time to get that second round of zinnias into the garden. Now, I like to succession sow my zinnias because I find that by the time summer hits, a lot of my older zinnias that I've planted early are suffering from powdery mildew. So having a succession planting of zinnias just keeps the plant fresh and looking beautiful all season long. Number 8 is sunflowers, and June is hands down one of the best months to get this flower started. So West Coast Seed has sent me out this new variety called the Starburst Greenburst Sunflower. Yeah, tongue twister. Say that 10 times quickly. But this flower looks gorgeous. It has this beautiful green center, and I'm definitely looking forward to growing this in my garden. One of the challenges with direct sowing sunflowers is that the birds and the mice love them too. So you need to protect your crop by either covering with a mesh, or you can start them indoors. What I did last year is I started them off in containers on my deck. That way I was able to monitor and protect them. Then once they were big enough, I transplanted them into the garden. Now, it's not an ideal situation, but it definitely works. One of the things I did earlier this season was adding more planting space in between my deck and my fence, which is literally a 1-foot space, but it's about 12 feet long, and that's plenty of space to plant a lot of things. Now, currently I have my zinnias and my cosmos there, and my goal is to create a beautiful flower wall along the back. Now, I'm going to be planting some of my Starburst Greenburst sunflowers there, and hopefully by the end of fall, I'll have a wall of sunflowers to display. I'm telling you, I have a small space garden, and I am stealing every square inch possible, even if it's 1 foot. I'm building a container for it. On to number 9, sweet potatoes. Did you know you can grow your own sweet potatoes at home? I've been rooting my own sweet potato slips in water using regular organic sweet potatoes I picked up from the grocery store. They are so simple to propagate and incredibly rewarding to grow. I have these 5-gallon containers here, and I've already planted up one with sweet potatoes, and now we're going to plant up the other one, and I have these purple sweet potato slips. Now, I have found that the purple sweet potatoes are much easier to propagate than the regular sweet potatoes. Look at the roots. Now, I'm not going to plant all of this. I am going to share it with friends, but I am going to try to fit in quite a bit. Now, these have been hardened off. You cannot take your sweet potatoes from inside to out. Definitely have to harden it off like any other plant. So I'm going to plant it along the drip line. Oops, a couple in the middle. Now, these containers were picked up at my local garden center, and they're so handy to plant things like potatoes, watermelon, any of your big crops. One more. Okay, the rest of this I'm going to give away to friends. And finally, number 10, the wild card I've been promising you. Now this plant doubles as an ornamental flower and a delicious green. It's almost always left off of summer planting lists, and I have no idea why. And that plant is amaranth or callaloo. So if you've been watching this channel for some time, I mentioned before that I have a Jamaican background, and callaloo is a staple for any Caribbean kitchen. Now I love growing this plant so much that it's a must in my garden every year, and it's great to direct sow from seed. And the days to maturity, I think about 40 to 45 days. So it's a quick turnaround crop. Now I'm going to be adding this to my tomato bed because guess what? This is also a great companion plant with tomatoes. So let's get planting. Now when you're growing callaloo, I'm growing it for the small baby stems and leaves. If you want to let the plant go to seed, you totally can, and it's a beautiful ornamental flower. Oop, just so you can see what the seeds look like. I don't know if you can see that. So we're going to put a few here. The one thing with amaranth, you probably don't want to let it go to seed or it will spread everywhere. Just going to put a few here too. And you're going to be planting this a 1/4 inch deep. Guys, my mom's coming up from Jamaica in a couple of weeks, and she is going to love the fact that I have callaloo in the garden. Trust me, she's going to want to harvest some. Guys, 10 crops that you should be adding to your garden this month for continual harvest throughout the entire season. I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.